Hi there. Welcome back to the Great Attorney Chronicles. Last time we finished cross-examining this testimony proper, but there was one other statement that we needed to double check. Let me see if I can
Hold it!
find it. Oh, well, rather we had to, pursue one of the other witnesses. Yeah, this line, we remember her little fireworks scheme. Which, I mean, seems to work well for her. Yeah. Let's see what Sandwich has on his mind. Something wrong, Mr. Sandwich? Also, you have to forgive me, my voice might be a little bit weird. I kind of bit my tongue. If I said it was, could we just leave it at that? Would that be the end of it? No. Did Miss Venus's statement just now bring something to mind, perhaps? Philosophical thoughts. Deep, philosophical thoughts. Let's say there was a great liar, and that great liar said, without batting an eye, telling barefaced lies is kind of my thing. I'm ever so good at it. Would those words of her be a lie too? Or the truth? In which case, she's not a liar. Oh, the hellish paradox, that one. Don't you think? I mean, I'm pretty sure people can tell lies about one thing and then tell the truth about another thing, you know? It's not like, I mean, you can be a liar and tell the truth, and you can be a truth teller and tell a lie. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. But, it seems to me, you're suggesting Miss Venus has been lying, are you? Well? Aye, what are you on about, old man? Trying to cause trouble, are ya? Keep on like that, and I'll wrap your whole body in firecrackers and set 'em off. That'll give you something to tremble about. Ah, you have a startlingly disturbing mind behind that sweet and innocent face, young lady. So Miss Venus has lied in her testimony. Is that what you're saying, Mr. Sandwich? Well, if it means I'll be burning in hellfire for the rest of my days, so be it. Yes, that's what I am saying. Can you elaborate, please, sir? Old blabbermouth here headed for the room where the gunshots seemed to come from. But there was someone else who crept up the stairs behind him, too. That's right. That rotten liar over there. You mean to say that you did in fact betake yourself to the scene of the crime after all? What did I tell you, eh? I said I was good at telling barefaced lies, didn't I? Well, yes, you mentioned it. Well, that revelation rocked the whole courtroom, didn't it? Who knew firecrackers packed such a punch? So you did indeed visit the scene of the crime, did you, young lady? Good grief. Well, now you come to mention it, I suppose perhaps... I do clearly remember climbing the stairs to the room, yeah? Either you clearly remember it, or you don't. Well, I shall consider putting punishment for this perjurious act later. For the time being, we will immediately amend your testimony to reflect the truth. Oh yes, my lord, of course. Maybe I did sneak along behind gossip and have a little peek into the room where it all happened. Well, that's kind of different from what you were saying before. But okay, I guess we'll just press and see if you can elaborate. You make a habit of lying, do you, Miss Venus? Well, I suppose so. I don't really know, to be fair. If you want my advice, though, I take everything I say with a big pinch of salt. Alright, but you did in fact go to the room where the victim was killed on the day in question, didn't you? Oh, please! As if I would! I can't think of anything more terrifying. The truth, please. Well, alright. Just a bit, then. I mean, a girl my age is curious about stuff, you know. Did you touch anything at the scene? Oh, please! As if I would! I mean, there was a dead body on the floor. The truth, please. Well, alright. Just a bit then. I had a look to see if there was anything I could sell. So I did get the place to once over, but it was nothing to write home about. Right. Now, I hesitate to ask, but you didn't move the notice board by any chance, did you? Oh, please, as if I would touch anything like that. Just a few bits of loose change is all I had. The truth, please. Well, alright then. I thought there might be something worth having underneath it. So I blast the flippin' thing. Sorry, flip the blasted thing. Well, I guess we know who moved the notice board now. You're telling us that you did move that board? Oh, I think that did slip out, didn't it? What? You daft bomb pot? I don't know what the fuck a bomb pot is, but it's probably not very nice. I don't believe it. The girl doesn't think. I mean, you're the one who called her out in the first place. So, did you find anything then? Something that you might have taken, perhaps? To sell? Perhaps? Oh, please. Oh, well. The truth now! Oh, I might have found this old pocket watch under the notice board, I suppose. Yeah, but a bit of junk like this can't be worth much if you ask... Ah! Oh, shit. Oh, Gino, what the fuck? Oh. Oh, yeah, I guess you were... I guess you had been here this whole time. So it was you, was it? You're the one what took it. Gina? Young lady, may I remind you where you are? That watch there, that was a present to Inspector Gregson from the yard for a big case he solved 10 years ago. The Professor case, no doubt. Yeah, the boss used to wind it up every evening without fail when he was waiting for his grub to come at the pub. I see. I swiped it off him once, and blimey was he upset. He gave me a right earful. Said he hadn't missed a day in the last 10 years, polishing it and winding it. It meant the world to him that watched it. Possibly not the best thing to go diving for, then. It's not all that. It's not all that, though. I took his job better that night to ask how much it was worth. But the old dealer wouldn't touch it. Wouldn't give me a penny for it. Said it wasn't working. Knocked about and worthless, he called it. I knew I should have lifted it. That watch must be submitted as evidence at once. Oh, please. Just so long as you promise to give it back when we're done. Not a chance. I'll swipe it from you if you try to get your grubby mitts on it again. That's enough. And the watch to the bailiff forthwith. Now, children. Watch your manners. Good Lord. The glass appears to be broken. Wow, so it is. More than likely, it shattered when the inspector was shot. Or that too, I guess. It doesn't tick anymore either. Which is why Jabbers didn't want it. What a waste, eh? Yes, indeed. It appears to have stopped at the hour of 5. Exactly when the gunshot was heard, then. Which supports the prosecution's claim, of course. Gregson's pocket watch has been entered into the court record. Well, it would appear that the mystery of the moving notice board has been solved, at least. And as predicted, it had very little bearing on the case. Now then, continue with our cross-examination, please, counsel. It's all very curious. And if, so if Jameson was the one who moved it, then I guess it doesn't really matter. But, before we go making any conclusions, I guess we can check the... It's probably worth it to examine the thing. The glass over the face really is badly cracked. Look! What a shame. When the inspector clearly looked after it so carefully. I imagine Mr. Sholmes could repair it, don't you? Well, yes, I should think so. He's very adept at things like this. A useful man to have around, in fact. But kindly remember that he's a great detective, Mr. Naruhodo. Not an odd job man. Oh, what's this? No, not, yeah, what's that? Ah, there's a tiny little keyhole here. Can you see? Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. That's probably for the winder used to wind up the mechanism. Looks a little unusual, don't you think? Yes. You'd need just the right key to wind it, I imagine. Why do I feel as though I've seen something? Something a bit like a key that's about the right size to fit in this hole. It would be wonderful if we had the key. Let's check carefully over what we've already found. Oh, wait. Wait a second. Let's check this toy again. Yeah, look at that! So we have the key here. Mrs. Otto, do you think perhaps this key could be the key for Inspector Gregson's watch? Oh! Well, yes, it could be. Let's try it at once. There's not a moment to lose. Okay, let's shove it in there. See what happens. Oh, look at that. Now it's working. I knew it. A perfect fit. And look! The inspector's watch has started going again. Ah, so it obviously has just not been wound up, that's all. What is it, Mrs. Otto? Well, if the watch isn't actually broken after all, I have a feeling it could have profound implications. She's deep in thought now. Perhaps I'd better stop thinking deeply, too. So the watch isn't actually broken, then that means that the time that it stopped at doesn't really matter, because it just wasn't wound up, is all. Is that... Wait, what's this bit? There's a tiny little stub sticking out from out this small hole here. Look! I suppose there must have been a little knob or something on that for setting the time. So in that case, seeing as we knew the inspector took such good care of this watch, it probably broke when the incident occurred, didn't it? Yes, of course. Which could mean that there's a small part of the watch still at the scene, maybe. That's, quite... That watch does feel important. I can't see how this changes anything anyway. The detective still died when we heard the gunshot. Okay, so I'm trying to, you know, do a little fucking deep thinking, as it were. So if we assume that the watch had stopped when the incident took place, but it didn't stop though. Okay, well, I feel like the connection is there. Like, maybe... Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna present this because I feel like the implication here is that he didn't actually die when we think, or when we thought that he died, and we have the pocket watch to prove it. I can't exactly articulate why that's the case, but I feel like that's what's gonna turn out to be the case, right? So I'm just gonna try presenting it and see what happens.
Objection!
Yeah, there you go. I was reasonably sure about that. Like I said, I couldn't quite find the words to say it, but I feel like the idea is that the watch stopped, you know, at a different time, or rather, it didn't stop at all. It hadn't been wound in the first place, so we can't really say for sure if you know, if it stopped at the time of the incident. I mean, I'm sure Rianovsky will explain it in better detail than I could. I'm afraid that that's not necessarily the case. Oh. At the scene, we found this key to the winder of the inspector's pocket watch. A key? And having wound the pocket watch, we discovered that it in fact still works. You see, the watch didn't stop because it was broken at all. And that fact completely undermines one of the most fundamental premises on which this entire case has been built. What? Hot actual hero. Still don't know what to make of that. Order! 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 But counsel, the watch was stopped at almost exactly 5 o'clock. Yeah, which is just when we heard that gunshot. It is exactly the hour. The time that was showing on the watch tells us nothing other than when it wound down. It's merely a coincidence that it happened to be at 5 o'clock. Yeah, see, yeah, that's... Okay, so I was basically right, I just couldn't quite explain it perfectly.
Objection!
Even if that's true, the 3 witnesses here all heard the gunshot at 5 o'clock. So that's obviously when this crime was committed.
Objection!
No, that doesn't hold. Well, why not? Recall what Inspector Lestrade said only moments ago. But Boss used to wind it up every evening without fail when he was waiting for his grub to come at the pub. Said he hadn't missed a day in the last 10 years, polishing it and winding it. It meant the world to him, that watch did. The victim was in the habit of winding his watch once a day, in the evening. We can reasonably assume, therefore, that he wound the timepiece on the evening before he died as well. Yes, that would be entirely reasonable. But if that's the case, you wouldn't expect the watch to have completely wound down by 5 o'clock the following day. Oh, hi! Well, how do you explain it then? In summary, the evening before the day of the incident, when the gunshot rang out in the room, the inspector was already unable to wind his watch. You can't mean... What would stop a man winding his watch if he's been in the habit of winding it every single evening for 10 years? I don't know, a terminal case of fucking death, maybe. The obvious answer is that he was already dead. Order! Order! Counsel, what is the most extraordinary claim?
Objection!
Extraordinary isn't the word. It's absurd. You claim he was already dead the night before? Do you really think that Scotland Yard's coroner would have overlooked something like that? Maybe. I mean, Scotland Yard's coroners have already proven to have a track record of unreliability. On that subject, there is something rather surprising. There's actually an omission in the coroner's report. Oh yeah, there was no time of death even mentioned in the report itself. The time of death is not noted. Ah, that's right. Wait a minute. You're forgetting that my legs went from under me when I kicked the door in. What do you mean? Like I said, I planted my hand in a great dirty puddle of blood. Yes. So the victim's blood hadn't dried. It was fresh. He catches on fast, doesn't he?
Objection!
But that blood could be explained in a number of ways. It could have been put there afterwards. Some fresh blood could have been poured over the victim's body after he... Does my learned friend think that fresh blood is available on every street corner? I mean, you can get fresh blood from lots of places. Butchers, coroners, hospitals, you know, a little blood bag, you know, just drip it all over the place. Ah. Well, it didn't necessarily have been human blood, of course. We've been told previously that Scotland Yard has no way to identify blood as human. The problem is currently being researched. At present, you are correct. It is beyond our abilities. So then, a chicken's blood could have been used, for example. It's certainly a possibility that it wasn't the inspector's blood at all. Yeah, you know,
Objection!
You can get blood from all kinds of places. But the gunshot was heard at 5 o'clock that afternoon. That's beyond question. Is it, though? Is it really? What? Given that the time of death of the victim has already been called into question, it isn't beyond the realm of possibility that what these witnesses heard wasn't a gunshot at all. Oh, please. What are you trying to say? Us a lot know what we heard, and it was a loud bang that came from that there room. Now, you listen to me. A street seller's ears are his livelihood. I don't doubt your ears, sir. But all you can state with certainty is that you heard a noise. Eh? Well, explain yourselves in counsel. A noise that sounds like a gunshot could have been made with... Well, and see, this is where that other bit of evidence that we examined before comes into play. I was wondering when this would come into... I was wondering when this might come up, but I wasn't expecting it to come up like this, to be honest. But hey, I think we'll leave things off... Well, I think we can leave this on a little cliffhanger for now. Looks like we're finally starting to make some progress in establishing a new narrative for what went down here. That wasn't, you know, Barrick doing some, you know, casual murder as one does, you know? So that's pretty cool. Though, the fact that Phoenix... Well, given that what evidence we're about to present, it kind of makes me wonder if these three aren't, you know, in on the take, so to speak. But, you know, don't want to jump to conclusions too early. So yeah, in the next episode, we'll present what we know to be that noise that might have sounded like a gunshot, and then see where that little thread takes us, you know, as far as that goes. But until then, though, I'll see you around.